The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that...
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection to Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
Oh, sorry. I had you all on mute just now. I didn't have you on mute, but anyway, it's Thursday, the 12th day of February, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BEDC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with you on a regular basis. I'm Jamal Hartman, and Teodil will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break. How's everyone feeling today? It's Thursday, Friday Junior, some of you like to say, the day before the final day of the traditional work week. Hopefully you've had an awesome week. Honestly, I hope you've had an awesome work week and it's ending on a high. All right, folks. Well, let's jump right into it. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Tahkeesha Welch, from the BEDC, the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. We'll be discussing the BEDC Business Awards taking place in March. I really want to know what some of you all's favorite local businesses are and small businesses are. I really, really would love to know that, because that would say a lot about our consumer spending habits, but also how real we are about wanting to see our local economy succeed. Our local economy succeeds, we succeed. The Daily Play is going to be a name that plays today. All right. And audience, don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Real quickly, before we jump into today's discussion, Bermuda Idol is coming up, folks. It's all taking place at Ruth Seton James on Saturday, March 14th. Get your tickets today. Available at 27th Century Boutique, online at ptix.bm, and at Hot 107.5 headquarters. Don't miss out on Bermuda's premier singing competition. All righty. I will not be competing, folks. I will not be competing. All right. So you just because I'm not competing doesn't mean you don't have to go. All right. Please show up and show some love to some of Bermuda's most talented voices. All righty. All right. We've got Claire Warner says, good morning. Bermuda, Philippines is watching. We've got Ms. Ellen Kate Horton says, good morning. Something tells me, we're going to have a great show without hearing my voice. James Burgess says, good morning to the Daily Hour team. Show, it's cold and windy. Ooh. And we've got Polly Rich says, morning, still cold. Favorite business is 27th Century Boutique. All right, get your Bermuda Idol tickets while you're there. We've got Suzanne Ingham says, it's super awesome, wet and windy Thursday. Jamel, they were spraying chemtrails in the wee hours this morning. Really? Okay, interesting. All right, folks. So today we have a celebration, and it makes me very, very proud to say this. And it's funny that I think the last time we had a day like today, we had Jamila Lodge from the BDC on. But today we're celebrating, and I don't think people understand how big this is. We're celebrating 1,300 episodes today. 1,300 episodes of the Daily Hour today, folks. And, it isn't just another show. It's 1,300 episodes, 1,300 conversations, 1,300 mornings, 1,300 opportunities to agree, disagree, laugh, debate, reflect, and sometimes even grow together. When we started this journey, we had a simple goal: create a space where Bermudians could talk honestly about what's happening in Bermuda, without fear, without filters, and without pretending the hard topics don't exist. Since then, we've had unforgettable guests, we've tackled controversial issues, we've celebrated wins, we've mourned losses, we've laughed on Fridays, and we've had some mornings where the comments were just in overdrive. But the truth is, this isn't just my show. This is our show. It's your show. You are the reason we made it to 1,300 episodes. Your comments, your feedback, your support. The ones who tune in every day or as often as they can. Even those who just started tuning in maybe last week. So today, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Because the Daily Hour has always aimed to be entertaining, informative, inspiring, and motivational. A place where you can learn something new, challenge your thinking, and still laugh and smile as you go about your day. The core mission of this show has always remained the same: improve our community one conversation at a time. And 1,300 episodes later, we're still here. Still asking, still listening, and still growing. So let us know. When did you start tuning in? Who's been your favorite guest? What discussion stuck with you? And most of all, what keeps you coming back? Because this isn't just a show, it's a shared space. And Bermuda, we have created this space for ourselves together. So your questions of the morning, very simple. What keeps you coming back to the Daily Hour? And who's been your favorite guest or your favorite discussion topic? Let us know. Favorite guest or discussion topic. Well, let's go to the audience. We've got, I did kind of ask, WKD Lama said, favorite company is Tools and Equipment. As a man, I'm ashamed to say I've never been in Tools and Equipment. I know where it is. Where it is, but that's the one across from Delwood, right? It's still there, or is that Standard Hardware? Anyway, don't judge me. I feel like you all are judging me this morning. Now I'm gonna have to make a visit to Tools and Equipment to say I've been there. Traveling Truddy says congratulations to TDH. Rondell Richardson says congratulations. Ellen Kate Horton says awesome. You and your team are to be commended. Congratulations. I love this show. Suzanne Ingham says, congratulations, Jamal and TDH team, and us being there for you. Awesome family. Congratulations, says Claire Warner. Let us know, the audience. Thank you all. Thank you. Congratulations to you for showing up and for doing what you do. And a lot of you do more than just engage and comment. A lot of you have recommended guests for the show. Some of you have recommended some of the co-hosts you now see. So when I say this show is really a space that we've created together, I don't say that just to, be flowery and, offer some, kind word just to say something nice. It's real. And I don't know if everyone understands how real that is. So again, let us know what keeps you coming back to the Daily Hour. Who has been your favorite guest or what's been your favorite topic? Let us know. And this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. But what keeps you coming back? Ms. Ellen Kate Horton says, favorite guest, Craig Simmons. All right. Well, Mr. Simmons will be back tomorrow because if you didn't know, audience, the budget is being read next Friday. Yeah, the budget. So we're going to have Mr. Simmons on tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about the budget. What that should look like to ensure that Bermudians can benefit greatly in the next fiscal year for the government. Manuela says, congratulations and thank you. And thank you. Thank you. Angeline Butler says, congrats. I love that you all are just on the cutting edge of current events locally and globally. I always have time for Dr. Ewart Brown, so he is a favorite guest. Thank you, Angeline. And I must say, because some of you don't just like come and comment or engage on the show, but when we do host Daily Hour events, you're out there with us and you're attending the events. So again, we thank you for that as well. James Burgess says, I love this show. It's very interesting. I've learned a lot. Thank you, James. Thank you. I'm glad that you've learned something. And thank you for your continuous engagement and support. We've got Shika Rena says, congrats. I think I started watching by episode 3. It was a welcome addition to my work from home morning ritual. You know, back then, thank you, Shika. Back then, that was in May of 2020. And time flies, man. Time really flies, because when we started this show, just to give context to those who haven't been around long, when we started this show, I remember Carla and we didn't know what we were going to call it. We didn't know what direction we were going to go. And I just said, we just need a space where Bermudians can engage with people who they only read about or see about in the news. And that was the goal, like to create a vibe where we can have brainstorming sessions. That's the purpose of what we do on this show. And so at that time, everyone was at home, right? Working from home. People were locked down, right? It was the middle of a pandemic, right? And everyone was starting these lives and you know, these things. And, you know, I remember within a year, all of them were gone. And people said, well, how the Daily Hour does it? And I said, because we weren't alive. We were a talk show. We weren't some podcast. This is a talk show. And I don't think people understand the difference. Just because it streams online doesn't make it a podcast. This is a talk show. This is a community, these are community conversations. This is not just let's record something and put it on the internet. Without the live engagement and audience, this show doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You can tell when people call us a podcast, I got a bit annoyed, right? But my point is, we're a talk show, and we're here to engage. And really, the purpose of every show, as I say to my co-hosts, is at the end of every show, anyone who was tuned in should be able to say they learned something, right? So if we didn't learn anything and no one learned anything, then what did we do? How did we help? What can we take away from it? So thank you all. 2020 sounds a long time ago. There were 5-year-olds. 5, that's half a decade, that weren't even born. Yeah. Anyway, getting caught up right there. KJ says, congratulations to the H crew. The perspectives on politics keeps me on the hook. The live coverage of the last election was my first show. Haven't stopped watching since. Thank you, KJ. We appreciate you. The election coverage, we first did election coverage in 2020. And that was insane. I think that really made us believe we can do any live coverage, right? And then we started doing cut match selection night. Cut match selection night is the Saturday before the big game, where we, have people at the grounds at both clubs, and then we have the fellas in the studio, and we really talk throughout the night as the teams come out and they're chosen, and the 2 former cut match stars give their feedback. This year we'll be doing it again. Happy to say that HSBC title sponsor once again. So really looking forward to it. But audience, I want to know from you, like, what keeps you coming back to the Daily Hour, and who's been your favorite guest or discussion topic? Like, who's been your favorite guest or discussion topic? Let us know. We've got Angeline Butler, a day oneer. She's been here from day one. Says Manuela says, it's great to learn and share with TDH whether I am home or abroad. We appreciate you. Secure BDA 441 says, congratulations to Daily Hour. This is an awesome accomplishment. Looking forward to 1,300 more episodes. Charles H. Jeffs II, he says, congratulations on 1,300 episodes. I tuned in the first episode and I haven't missed many live. My favorite guest was probably Sir John. You know, I have to reach out to, I haven't heard from Sir John. I sent him a message during the holidays. I have to reach out to him, but I appreciate Let me tell you something I really appreciate about doing this show. A show like this would have been frowned on 10 years ago. Oh, that's just some internet YouTube show, right? It would have been frowned upon. But the fact that, and I give a lot of credit to those who arranged the guests for the show. The fact that people like Sir John and the various guests, BDC and the various ministers and business owners trust this platform to come and engage with all of you, that gives me so much joy. It really does. It's early, number one. People gotta get up early to do this. But secondly, they trust that this is a platform where it makes sense to come and have conversations. So I take none of that for granted. We take none of that for granted, and we are grateful for it, folks. We are very grateful. This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. We've got Anne Elliott says, congratulations on 1,300 episodes. I love the informative, engaging, sometimes controversial, and timely discussion topics. Craig Simmons is my favorite guest. Well, Mr. Simmons will be in his house tomorrow. So, folks, you don't want to miss that. WKD Lama says, Craig Simmons, he makes sense of the economy. Absolutely. I mean, he's a person that when he's on, you have to take so many notes, right? Well, I do. And then really, after you take those notes, I go back and watch and I'm like, wow, I get that. But also, Mr. Simmons, if he gets something wrong, if he speaks off, he'll say, you know what, actually, that's not how this works. He always comes back. For him, it's about trying to break things down in the most layman terms. And I think it works with this audience. It works with us, right? Rondell Richardson says, I've been watching since the beginning. I love the dialogue and intellect. Thank you. We appreciate you. James Burgess says, I don't have a favorite. Everyone is good. Okay, everyone's good. Shika Rana says, former finance minister is always a good guest, and KBB. Oh, Mr. Curtis Dickinson. I actually reached out to him recently to say hello, see how he's doing. He said he's doing well. So I don't know if he's going to be running for leadership. I must ask him, huh? You want me to ask him, audience? Maybe I should ask him if he's going to be running for leadership. Because you remember what my prediction was. But my prediction was based on who put their hand up so far. And that was the Honorable Minister Zandy Silva. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I keep coming back because I learned something, either from the guest, the discussion, the daily play, the host, and other audience members. Thank you. I'm glad. That really gives me comfort that you learned something from this show. I always tell people that the Daily Hour audience is an intellectual group. And if you can teach an intellectual group something, it says a lot. And intellectuals are not people who know everything. I want to say that, but they are intelligent. And the fact that they can learn something from this show speaks to the quality of discussions, guests, and engagement. So thank you for that, Charles. Polly Rich says, congratulations. Just great to learn, be informed, and of course, the laughs. Polly Rich says, you have had so many great guests. Can't choose one or two. Indeed, indeed. And Travin Trotty says, yes, please ask. She wants the former finance minister, Curtis Dickinson, back on, folks. You all want to hear from Mr. Dickinson? Should I reach out to Mr. Dickinson? You want to, because he hasn't been on in quite a while, huh? Like probably since 2024. I'm thinking 2024, yeah. So I mean, we can ask. I mean, all he can say is yes or no, but we can definitely ask. Sean Smith says yes. Okay. All right. I know he tunes in at times, so I'll definitely ask him. Who else do you want to hear from? Who else do you want to hear from? Let me know. Who else do you want to hear from? Mr. Dickinson, number one. Who else? Michael Daniel says, congrats on providing a platform for engagement. My comments aren't always understood, but that's life. My cell phone sometimes gives me the words to say. I wish I could type faster. Your words not being understood isn't your fault. That's me. That's my fault. That's why I say, I tell you all, I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar. So you guys got to break things down for me. You can't talk in riddles because I'm like, huh? I'm reading it and trying to figure it out. So Traveling Trotty would love to see the Minister of Education. Well, since the Minister of Education has been appointed, we've attempted to have her on numerous times. Apparently, she is a Doesn't mind a press release, but I don't know if she is comfortable doing live and engaging stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't like this platform. Maybe she doesn't like the host. Maybe she doesn't like me. Maybe she doesn't like the audience. I don't know. But she hasn't accepted the invite. But I'm sure we'd be happy to have the Minister of Education on this show. As her colleagues will tell her, we don't bite. We don't, it's not about being controversial. It's about having mature conversations and engaging conversations with an audience that, you all are not rude or disrespectful. You just have questions. So if anyone knows the Minister of Education, let her know that the TDH community would love to have a conversation with her. Polly Rich says yes, but we won't say if he will run for the post. But he won't say, sorry, if he won't. So we want Mr. Dickinson on. James Burgess, yes, try him. Okay. Ms. Allen Kate Horton says yes, definitely reach out to Mr. Dickinson. We've got Craig Simmons for sure, favorite guest of Jewel Eve. John Barrett's also good. Yeah, I love Mr. Barrett. He has a lot of time for you all as well. Mr. Barrett's an awesome guest. Well, I don't think this question's for me. James Burgess says, how about you running for premier? Who? You mean Mr. Dickinson? That's not for me. I already told you about me in politics. No, nah. We're not going to do that. Suzanne Ingham says, Sir John, Mark Bean, teacher Lucinda Mayberry from West Pembroke School. Okay, we'll have to check out teacher Mayberry. Yes, I think we've been in talks with Mark Bean to come back on as well. And then, yeah, I've reached out to Sir John, not to come on the show, just to say hello, but I'll double check, see how he's making out. Folks, this was your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Keep it coming. We have to show some love to Titan and Secure, but also we've got a very special guest coming up, Tahkeesha Welch from the BDC. But before that, we have to go to our news break and take a break. Well, Charles says that a recent TNN poll had Mr. Dickinson as the overwhelming choice of the public. However, I believe that was similar to 2022. Well, you all know the public doesn't have a say in who the PLP leader is, and the PLP leader, as long as their government is right now the premier. So it's about getting the support of the delegates, right? So that's the challenge for the Bermudian public. Unless they sign up to be PLP members and are appointed delegates, then you don't have a say on the actual leader of the party, but you do have a say on who leads, as in the government. All right, let's go and show some love to Titan Express and Secure, and then we'll go to the Daily Hour news break with Teo Dill. Stick with us.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural experiences, they set the standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
All righty, folks, let's go to Teo, see what he's got for us in the Daily Hour news break. In the meantime, folks, don't forget, if you are streaming on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram, please give us that thumbs up, love, like, make sure you share the conversation with your friends, family, colleagues. And when we come back after the commercial, we've got Tahkeesha Welch coming on. We're talking about the BEDC Business Awards. And I really want to know who are some of your favorite small businesses in Bermuda. I'd really like to know your favorite businesses, favorite local businesses. All right. So start letting us know.
Good morning, I'm Teo Dill, and welcome to your TDH News Break brought to you by the great folks at Peoples. Roses are good, but let Peoples help you build a more thoughtful ode to love. Essential oils, a diffuser, a wellness tea set, or a keepsake journal wrapped beautifully at Peoples. And Bermuda just quietly reminded the world who runs the catastrophe bond game. The Bermuda Stock Exchange says it captured over 93% of global insurance-linked securities issuance last year as the cat bond market absolutely exploded. The BSX added 209 new ILS listings last year, a 34% jump, bringing the total to 746 securities listed with an outstanding value of about $65 billion. And globally, catastrophe bond issuance hit a record $25.6 billion, up a wild 45% from 2024. The big takeaway, as natural disasters ramp up, the world is leaning harder on Bermuda to finance risk, and Bermuda is basically dominating the entire space. Now, interestingly, BSX President Greg Wojciechowski basically spoke this kind of global dominance into existence about a decade ago while being interviewed when Bermuda officially secured about half of this market rather than the current situation where we have close to 100% of this particular type of business.
I think the growth is attributable directly to the fact that Bermuda is a key player, a well entrenched player in the specialty risk. You know, Bermuda is known as the risk capital of the world. So when there's a development in that market segment, an innovation, you know, when something changes like third-party capital coming in, Bermuda is the logical place to be able to support, you know, market evolution and market innovation. And I attribute that directly. Bermuda's tried and tested. The regulatory framework is well known by our international clients.
The Bermuda Community Pharmacy is offering free blood pressure checks and quick consultations this Friday as part of a heart health campaign. They're calling it A Date with Bermuda, and it's basically a simple walk-in checkup where you get your blood pressure taken, then chat with the pharmacist right after about your results or any heart medication questions. No appointment needed. It runs 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and they're even doing free food and drinks. And bonus, everybody who takes part gets entered into a draw to win one of 5 blood pressure monitors. Now, speaking of high blood pressure, for the first time in a decade, our U.S. neighbors have updated the treatment guidelines around the best practice for folks diagnosed with these conditions. Check this out. It's likely to be something you're going to want to bring up with your doctor.
If your blood pressure is over 140 over 90, your doctor is probably going to prescribe medication based on what this recommends. If your blood pressure is 130 over 80 and you have things like diabetes, chronic kidney disease, or a high risk of cardiovascular disease, and we calculate that with a risk calculator of over 7.5%, you will be recommended for medication. Now, where this gets interesting is if your blood pressure is over 130 over 80 and you're lower risk, less than 7.5% risk, then you should try lifestyle changes for 3 to 6 months before you are prescribed medication.
And in other health-related news, if you're a student looking for a solid summer opportunity, the Bermuda Hospitals Board is now taking applications for its Summer 2026 program with a deadline of February 28th. They're giving preference to students in areas like nursing, pharmacy, mental health, diagnostic imaging, lab tech, rehab services, finance, accounting, and even culinary arts, basically anything connected to healthcare and hospital operations. Applicants need to be at least 18, have a Bermuda social insurance number, and have an interest in working at either KEMH or Mid-Atlantic Wellness Institute. Applications can be made online through the BHB job posting portal, so if that is you, don't wait until the last minute. Now, weather-wise, today starts off wet and moody as that cold front pushes all the way through our airspace. Expect a cloudy, rainy morning with showers around, and the wind's the main character in this story. Strong southwest winds with gusts near gale force, so it's going to feel a little chaotic out there. Temps should hit around 66 degrees, dropping to about 58 tonight. The good news is that later today, we should catch some sunny breaks, but it stays breezy, so do not expect to feel calm in any meaningful way. And that's your TDH News Break brought to you by our friends at Peoples. I'm Teo Dill. Now back to the show.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Tay. You know, folks, it's hug day. Yeah, you know, I'm not a hugger. You know, people be forcing that stuff on me. It's hug day. So, you know, go hug somebody if you have permission. Don't get slapped or punched or whatever, but hug somebody. But also it's Digital Learning Day. It's Digital Learning Day. So I want to know, what is the first digital thing you ever worked on? Like, what's the first? Was it like for me, it was like some little thing that all the children had for spelling words or something. I don't know what it was called, but I'm sure we all had them as children. But what was the first thing you had? Like children today, the first thing they get on is like what's what they call them? What's iPads called? What is thing? What are they called? But they have phones, obviously. But what's the name for an iPad, folks? Like, not the actual iPad name, but what is the device called? But that's what children's first like digital thing is. Like some people, I'm not trying to age anyone in the audience, but don't say tablet. Thank you, KJ. Tablet. Yes. Tablets are now like the first thing that most children, but what was the first thing? And don't be afraid to age yourself. We know many of you are mature. All right. We know we're a mature audience. So what was the first thing? And a typewriter isn't digital, folks. It's not digital. So you can't say typewriter, right? What's the first digital thing that you ever had? I know some of you got to go way back. Yep, way back. But Mark Arthur says, Commodore 64 PC. I'm a tech OG. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. Catrice Ackerman says, Nintendo. Yeah. I think Nintendo was my first one. Charles H. Jeffers II, he says, calculator. Okay. I wish I remembered what it was called. It was a little thing that my mama got me, and it was for spelling words, like learning how to spell. I wish someone in the audience had it too. Rondell Richardson says Atari. Okay, that came before Nintendo, right? The Atari. That was before me, before me. What else, audience? Keep them coming. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, we've got a very special guest coming up, and I want you to start letting me know right now, what is your favorite local and small business in Bermuda? Your favorite local and small business in Bermuda. We're gathering up, getting ready for a conversation with Tahkeesha Welch from the BEDC about the 2026 BEDC Business Awards. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Take a look at our workforce for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
That really matters isn't the one on your ID. You probably know your chronological age, the number of candles on your last birthday cake. But there's another kind of age that may be even more important, your biological age. This reflects how old your body truly is at the cellular level. It is influenced by your genes, your environment, and the choices you make every day. Two people can both be 40 years old on paper, but one may have the body of a healthy 30-year-old while the other is biologically closer to 50. The difference? Lifestyle choices on nutrition, sleep, stress, exercise, and exposure to toxins. That means you have some control over your biological clock, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Because when it comes to aging, it's not just about living longer, it's about living better. Want to know your predicted biological age today? Download the free Genetics app and fill in the lifestyle questionnaire.
Alrighty, Welcome back to the big show. Jamel Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for allowing us to pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Well, we had asked a question that I think we should put to our guest for the day as well, with what was the first digital device that she also remembers using as a child. But without further ado, we're talking about Bermuda BEDC Business Awards today. And I'm very interested to learn and know who which local businesses are some of your favorites. All right. So let us know, audience. Let's give a warm TDH welcome. And I think it's her first time on the show to Tahkeesha Welch.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Jamal. Good morning to your audience.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the show.
Morning.
So we've got to ask you, what was the first device you remember?
I was sitting here while you were saying that, and I can't recall. I certainly didn't have an Atari or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we weren't digital at all in my house.
Okay, so like Charles, he said calculator. Would you think calculator?
Okay, let's go scientific calculator. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay. Scientific calculator. We're gonna give it that one. We're gonna give it that one. Well, before we jump into today's conversation, just tell the audience a bit about your background, what it is that you do at the BEDC.
Okay, I am the Loan Management Portfolio Officer at the BEDC. Prior to that, I have been in banking for over 19 years. So I have a wealth of knowledge in the small business space and in lending in Bermuda.
I'm always, and I don't say this to be flirtatious or anything, folks. Let me set that straight. But I'm always, when people come on the show and they say they've been doing something for like 15, 20 years, and I'm like, how old are you? Like, you don't look old enough. I'm just saying, like, people don't look old enough, but credit to you. Obviously, the point is that you're not just fly by night showing up. You've been doing this for a long time, and we appreciate the partnership with the BEDC. But today we're here to talk about the BEDC Business Awards. Can you just explain to the audience what the BEDC Business Awards are and why they are so important, for Bermuda's small business community?
Okay, so sorry, a little early for me, so. Give me a minute. So the BEDC Business Awards is the annual awards that we put on every year to recognize and celebrate small to medium-sized businesses within Bermuda. We feel that it's important, obviously, because small businesses are the backbone of the economy. So we find that it's very important to recognize them. Mm-hmm. So that's what the BEDC Business Awards does on an annual basis.
Mm-hmm. And audience, let us keep them coming. Let us know what some of your favorite local and small businesses are. You just spoke about recognition. Why does it matter to publicly recognize and celebrate local entrepreneurs in such a small economy like Bermuda?
I mean, who doesn't like recognition? And I mean, in a small economy like Bermuda, visibility absolutely matters. Without these awards and other awards and things like that are done in Bermuda, a lot of these businesses wouldn't receive the recognition or even the visibility. So it is very important to recognize businesses in Bermuda for that reason. Also, just to let them know that they are important. It helps to build trust, consumer trust. And these businesses, like I said, are the backbone of the economy. So it's very important that they understand their importance as well.
Indeed. And so Business Awards coming up, and we read on news the other day about the nomination, right? Yeah. Can you walk us through the nomination process? Who can nominate who, and what kinds of achievements are you looking to highlight this year?
Okay, so anybody can nominate. So that's important to get out there. It is open to the public. So if you go into a business every day and you receive amazing customer service, or you return to that business or that service for a specific reason, it is important that you go onto our website and you actually recognize that business. Like I said, it's open to customers, employees of the business, just anybody in the community who has received something amazing from a business and wants to nominate. It's on our website, so you can go to www.bedc.bm. Right in the middle of the page, you'll have the opportunity to actually nominate a business for awards. And they are in categories and they have specific criteria. So it's not as if you could just go in and say, okay, I nominate this business. You'll have to have a valid reason.
Okay. And speaking of categories,
Yeah.
what I guess what are some of the categories and criteria, if you can share with the audience?
Okay, so we have 11 awards that are listed. Last year we had 13 because we did break them out. So for instance, last year, the Family Business of the Year Award, we received so many nominations that we decided to actually break it out into a small and a medium size. So, and it was important, and it we had a very well-known local family business winner in Mr. Chicken, and then we've also had previous winners in there like People's Pharmacy. We also do Business of the Year. So again, there's a set criteria on the website that you'd have to read through, give a brief blurb as to why you're nominating this business. Also, Startup of the Year. Now, this one, the criteria obviously is that it is a startup. So it has to have started within the year and be approximately open for about a year. We also have Vendor of the Year. So, these vendors that are at Harbor Nights and at all these vending markets, and some of them are working very hard out every week, pushing their business. So we also have a category to recognize them. Entrepreneur of the Year, again, the criteria is on the website. We also have a Customer Service Award, People's Choice Award. We also have the BEDC Client of the Year, and we have an Innovation and Tech Award. And that particular award is sponsored by the Economic Development Department.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love this. Audience, how are you feeling? Like, let us know who you're nominating. Please let us know. And I think we got a few in the audience. We've got Impressions Hair Artistry, Sade Milan, and Doling Service Station, top tier customer service always. We've got Champion Taekwondo, small business, huge community impact. Keep them coming, audience. Let us know what you're thinking. What impact have past awards had on winners, whether in terms of visibility, credibility, or business growth? Like, is there a business that has gotten an award before that no one knew about, and now they're a household name?
Well, absolutely. When the nominations come in, even to us, right? So we're the, you would say we're the place where people come for business information, and sometimes we get business names in that we're not actually familiar with, and we would have to go and do the research. So I think past winners have seen a lot of benefit, the recognition, again, the visibility, the stronger brand credibility, because obviously if you now got this award on your shelf, or you've been, the social media posts and everything is about your business, people are inclined to be more trusting of the business and actually come to visit your business. And recently, Karika Weldon, and I'm going to quote it because she actually was in the Royal Gazette last week, and she actually said being honored with last year she won the 2024 Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and she was shocked. But she said this is not because we do not think we deserve it, but because sometimes it's easier to see how far you have to go rather than how far you already come. So I thought that was good, and I thought that quote actually stood out. And it made me understand exactly why these awards are very important.
Indeed, and big love to Dr. Karika Weldon doing her thing with Carry Genetics. For someone who's tuned in right now, who may know an outstanding business owner or is one themselves, what's the deadline, and obviously the website, but what's the deadline to do so by?
Okay, so you have a few more days. Deadline's actually the 15th. So today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, you can go onto our website and nominate. And we had to cut it off because, like I said, we get a lot of nominations. Then we have to go through our process to ensure that the criteria actually matches the award. And then we'll go through a process of actually using our stakeholders and other members of our board to actually choose winners. So you just go to www.bedc.bm. Scroll to the middle of the page, you'll see a black and gold invite, and it says nominate. Please, please, please go and nominate your favorite business or entrepreneur.
And you may not be able to, but you did just mention, like, stakeholders and members of your team who will do the voting. Is there one group that votes on all of the winners, or is it different categories? Like some people vote on this category and some people vote on other categories?
Well, we lean on each other for all of the winners. I mean, obviously we have the Innovation and Tech Award, which is sponsored by the Economic Development Department. So we do confer with them on the winner of that particular award. Other than that, again, it's just going through criteria. We are a government Quingo, so we do look for certain things, and the criteria is listed. So I won't go through all of it. So I will just say for everybody, please look at the criteria and ensure that that business matches the criteria. Otherwise, we'll have to eliminate them from the actual nomination process. And we don't want to do that. So just make sure you put them in the right category. This is the correct award for them, and they are actually worthy of this award.
Just do me a favor, if you don't mind, because I feel like, we have this conversation on the show about the need to support local. But can you just share, because my hope is that everyone who's tuned in will tell somebody and somebody will tell somebody, but can you explain why it's so important for people to participate in nominating their favorite local businesses?
Okay, again, visibility, trust, and just to let them know that they are actually doing the right thing. I mean, these businesses create jobs, they keep the money circulating. So it's very important for people to recognize the local businesses. And like you said, buying local and things like that. I mean, retail is struggling. So anybody that's still in that space and turning out good product and doing a good thing and great customer service, they should be recognized. It's very difficult. And any businesses that have stood since the pandemic and even pivoted since then, they deserve recognition. So I think it's very, very, very important that everybody goes in and nominates. And we use a business every day. I mean, it's everything that we do locally, we're using some business in Bermuda. So I think they should be recognized.
Indeed. And can you let us know, when will the winners be announced? Like, when is the actual business awards and who can attend?
Okay, so the actual awards is May the 21st at the Grotto Bay Beach Resort. Anybody could attend. The tickets are available for purchase right now. All nominees. So what we do, we go through the process and then we'll break the nominees down into the top 5.
You said May 21st or March 21st?
Sorry. Why am I saying May?
You're ready for
I
the
haven't
summer.
had enough. It's definitely March 21st, audience. It is March 21st, not May, at the Grotto Bay. So what we do then is that we will go ahead and we'll send out the invites to the finalists. They won't be told until that night that they were actual winner. But we normally go through all the finalists, what they do, put their logos on the screen so everybody is fully aware of all the businesses that were actually nominated in the category.
Thank you for this. And audience, I really hope that you all nominate, because one of the things that we encourage and push on this show is to support local businesses. And you have a number of choices. You have a number of choices just by tuning into this show, the amount of local businesses that support these conversations that we have. So Tahkeesha, thank you so much for the conversation today. Audience, if you have any questions or comments, how can they reach out to the BDC if they want to know a bit more about the process?
Okay, you can either call me on 292-5570, or you can just go to our website at www.bedc.bm. Before I go, I just want to give a shout out to my colleagues and everybody at BEDC. And also, we have a special surprise for everybody as they come in. Pitt & Company is actually sponsoring a entrance and an entry drink for everybody. So, shout out to Pitt & Company and BGA for supporting this initiative, and as well as the Economic Development Department, who is sponsoring an award.
Hopefully I got an invite, even if I'm not nominated. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, the Daily Hour is a business. So, and that's important as well. I mean, it's a talk show, but it is a business, right?
Yeah.
What you mean you guess?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a business.
I'm not tooting my horn. I don't want to,
Well, I mean, you don't have to toot your horn. You just say what it is.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that. It's all businesses. And I don't think people even see vendors as businesses. So we're going to change that mindset as well. These are all businesses.
Good point. Thank you for saying that, because people don't. People see vendors as just somebody who's got a little side hustle and they treat them as much. Thank you. That is a valid point.
Yes.
Suzanne's just saying before you head out, will you come back again soon? So I think somebody likes you. But I'm sure a lot of
I
people
can
like
come. I don't know how often this is, and this was a shock to the system, but
they had to
but I will certainly come back and I can share some more information on BEDC with the audience.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Tahkeesha. Talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, Tahkeesha Welch, folks, if you appreciated the discussion this morning, please give her a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the convo with your friends, family, and colleagues. Charles, Charles, a second. The Daily Hour isn't a charity. He's childish. And you can do it, says Suzanne Ingham. You can do it. Folks, don't go anywhere. Let me come back. I shared a little post on LinkedIn yesterday, and I want to share it with all of you. It was about Black History Month, and yeah, I'll tell you about it when we come back. But again, if you appreciate the discussion with Tahkeesha Welch, BEDC, all the work that they're doing, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, family, colleagues. We'll be back in this short break, and we've got a daily play for you. It's a name that place. Oh, here it is. Oh, you all are going to get this if you know anything about the Caribbean. Hint, hint.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BEDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BEDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Every space has a message, whether it's a store, a government office, or a doctor's waiting room. With Store Tunes Radio, transform your environment with customized music and professional messaging that keeps people informed, engaged, and at ease. Easy to use, built for organizations of every kind. Powered by Bermuda Communications Group. Store Tunes Radio, the soundtrack to better customer experiences. Visit storetunesradio.com to learn more.
The Office of Consumer Affairs protects residents by promoting fairness, safety, and transparency in the marketplace across the island. We investigate complaints, manage recalls, educate the public, and enforce consumer protection laws to ensure fair treatment for all. Our team supports consumers by resolving disputes, providing guidance, and helping residents understand their rights and responsibilities. We work with businesses to encourage compliance, ethical practices, and trust, helping create a stable and competitive economy. Through education, enforcement, and outreach, Consumer Affairs helps keep Bermuda's marketplace safe, informed, and accountable.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. This is the Daily Hour, brought to you by BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Lindo's, Medical House, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring we can pump these radio airwaves. Thanks again to Tahkeesha Welch and everyone at the BDC for today's conversation. Again, folks, if you appreciate it and you are streaming with us, Please give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, family, and colleagues. I want to say, I woke up this morning and I saw that Barbados election yesterday was a clean sweep. Was it like 30 seats to 0 or 31 to 0, something like that? And my immediate thought was, this is like not democracy. Like, that's not democracy. I mean, is the other party that bad? And from the outside, obviously, Mia Amour Motley, to me, is one of the best leaders in the world from a small jurisdiction. She punches way above her weight. She gives me hope. She does. This is why when people were all about Kamala Harris this, Kamala Harris that, Kamala Harris was a terrible candidate. Yeah, that's going to upset. She was horrible, just like Hillary Clinton. This is not about man or woman. Mia Amour Motley has been my favorite leader literally for the last 5-6 years. And she's a woman, a Black woman. But she has something that those two don't have. Charm. She's engaging. She doesn't talk over people. She connects with people. Maybe instead of thinking that we're bigger than others, we can actually make others feel like we're one of them. That's what she does. Now, again, I don't know all the going-ons in Barbados, but for the people to give that kind of mandate speaks of volumes. It speaks of volumes. And if there's any woman or Black woman who has political aspirations, get off the Hillary and Kamala Harris train and probably look at what Mia Amour Motley is doing. Unprecedented. We have to honestly come from feeling like we have to support people because of their race and gender. And if race and gender is important, then we need to support them because we know that they are the best among us. That may upset some of you, but that's my truth. All right. On that, I want to share something. Now, let me be very clear. Just because Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton were bad candidates doesn't mean the other candidate was good. Let me just make that clear. I'm just explaining why it was harder to beat that bad candidate. I want to share something real quickly. I wrote this on LinkedIn yesterday, and it took me about a week or two before choosing whether I was going to share it. And I said, I understand why many companies and organizations celebrate Black History Month, but if I'm honest, in some spaces, it has started to feel performative. Not because Black history isn't important. It absolutely is. History shows that Black people have consistently made meaningful contributions to society despite systemic barriers and challenges. What began as a week-long observance by Dr. Carter G. Woodson in 1926 grew into a month-long recognition in 1976 in North America. The intention has always been about acknowledgement and education. My concern isn't the month itself, it's the optics. Over the years, we've seen many organizations roll out DEI programs, post curated statements, and celebrate various heritage months. On the surface, it looks progressive. But when you take a deeper look, important questions emerge. Who sits on the boards of these companies? What does the C-suite look like? How many Black professionals hold decision-making roles? Who controls budget, strategy, and direction? Celebration without representation is performance. Recognition without trust is hollow. If an organization truly values Black professionals, it will show up in leadership pipelines, pay equity, succession planning, meaningful influence, not just social media graphics in February. My hope is that we move beyond what is trendy and into what is transformational. And what that requires is courage from Black professionals as well. We must advocate for ourselves, ask better questions, and refuse to normalize being underemployed, underpaid, or undervalued. We are qualified for roles beyond entry-level tracks and diversity-specific positions. If you want to understand where a company truly stands, don't stop at, we have diverse staff. Ask, in what roles, at what levels, with what authority, with what compensation, with what path to advancement. See, Black history isn't a marketing or PR strategy. It's a lived reality, past, present, and future. Real progress is measured in structure, not slogans. And I really hope that that touches someone. And it's not just about employment and entrepreneurship, having access to capital, as Nikki Fagan shared, and who gets the support in the entrepreneurship space. These are important things. All righty. Folks, it's time for the daily play, right? Got to do a daily play. It's time for the daily play. Brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, are you ready? It's a name that place. I said this is easy. Audience, don't let ourselves down. What is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea? Not Jamaica. It's not Jamaica. It's not Jamaica. It is Cuba. I said the largest island in the Caribbean, not the largest English-speaking island. It is Cuba, WKD Lama. It is Cuba, Ellen Kate Horton. It is Cuba, Ivis. Yeah, if I would have said what's the largest English-speaking island in the Caribbean, it would have been Jamaica. But it is Cuba. It is Cuba. I said don't let me down, but hey, that was a trick question though, because a lot of people would have said Jamaica because you're thinking largest English-speaking island, but Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea. All right. Folks, I got to let you go. We've got Craig Simmons coming up tomorrow, and a very important conversation. This is supposedly the last budget that will be delivered by David Burt as premier, maybe as finance minister. So it'll be happening next week. The 20th, I think, of February. And Mr. Simmons, we will speak about that. But I've got to give you some daily inspiration, and I'm going to go to The Journey Within. Can you see the book? Journey Within. First book. This second books are almost done as well, folks. So here's one. We'll do this one. And this is a quote. This is something my cousin who celebrates his birthday today, Michael Terry Shaw Thomas. Some of you may know him, former sergeant on the police service, but he kind of said to me when I was young, he said, Michael Jordan's not the best basketball player in the world. He's just the one who made it. There's someone who maybe didn't pay attention in school, that didn't give themselves the opportunity to go to college and make it to the NBA. And so this quote is pretty much similar to that. It says, there's someone out there who can do what you do better. So keep learning and working to become the best you can be. And that's what keeps me humble, folks. As I mentioned, we're celebrating 1,300 episodes today. There's tons of people who can do this show and do it much better. And it keeps me humble to knowing that, but also continuing to try to improve and doing the best that we can do together and ensuring that this show delivers on what the audience, or exceeds what the audience expects from it. So thank you all. 1,300 episodes done. Hopefully we've got at least another 1,300 to go. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we're able to pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations on a regular basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.